Hello and welcome to Algebra 1, Chapter 2.1, where since we're starting Chapter 2, just to let you know, Chapter 2 is called Solving Linear Equations. And 2.1 itself, we're going to review writing equations. Very similar to what we did in Chapter 1, except now these are going to be equations and not expressions. Remember, the difference is that they are equal to something. So if you have an expression, there's no equal sign. You can still simplify those, but if you have an equation, you have an equal sign. So these are all going to be equations, and I know they're going to be equations because right here it says translate each sentence into an equation. So these are all going to have equal signs. So quickly, a few words that mean equal. You can have equal, is. So equal is equivalent. I'm going to run out of room there. Equivalent. Those are all words that would mean equal. So a number b divided by 3 is, so equals, 6 less than c. Remember, less than goes at the end, so it's c minus 6. That is 6 less than c. Like I said, very similar to what you did in Chapter 1. 15 more than z times 6. And so more than is the same thing as less than. It should go at the end. So that'd be 6z would be 6 times z. 15 more than that is y times 2. So 2y minus 11. Make sure those make sense to you. Here we have a problem-solving plan. So whenever you're attempting a word problem, you first always want to explore the problem. That means actually read the problem. Okay, that's a good first step. Read the problem. Identify what are you looking for, what do you have. Then come up with a plan. Your plan could be a formula. It could be an equation. It could be a picture or a graph. There's lots of ways to solve problems. Solve the problem, however you determine in your plan. You're going to solve the problem. Check your solution. Does it make sense? Okay, I can't tell you how often I get, the Smith family took a trip from Topeka to St. Louis. It took this long, this many miles. What was their average speed? And you get something like 1,200 miles per hour. But that's not very realistic, so make sure that your answer does make sense. A formula, if your problem-solving plan involves a formula is just an equation that states a rule for a relationship between quantities. You probably know several formulas. If I said area equals length times width, you'd know that's the area of a rectangle. Or area equals 1/2 base times height, you might know it's the area of a triangle. And so these are just equations stating relationships. So if I multiply length times width, I get area. If I multiply base times height and divide by 2, I get area there. So that's their relationship. So we'll do the same thing we did to begin with. We're going to translate into an algebraic equation. These are actually formulas. I'm going to do the first one and leave the second one for you to do. The perimeter of a square equals, okay, so I'm going to do perimeter equals 4 times the length of a side. So 4 times, and I'm going to use S for the length of a side. Okay. So there's the first one. I would like for you to have the second one done before you come to class. And we're going to look at one more here. Okay. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to go the other way. So if you start with an algebraic equation, can you go to a verbal sentence? And you got to be really careful with these that they can't be thought of in a different way. So the way you write it is that the only way it can be interpreted. So here I'm going to do the first one, and so we're going to do 12 minus, I'm going to say the product of 2 and x. Whenever you can use sum, product, quotient, differences, or those grouping words, so I know that I've grouped 2 and x. So 12 minus the product of 2 and x equals -5. And there I've translated it into a verbal sentence. I would like for you to tackle the second one there, and remember the second one on the previous slide, and we'll finish everything else in class. Let me know if you have any questions, and if not, have a great day.